So, it's been a little bit since I've had to talk about her. Our favorite ex Kotaku senior editor. But here we are. I was kind of wondering lately, well, not lately, but going online, Twitter, and all that. Seeing Smash JT, and I was thinking like, what's up with the Alyssa thing? Like, where is it headed? Is it still on or what? But Alyssa, we don't say her name because YouTube wants to be YouTube, and you say her name a certain way, and it sounds like you're saying a bad word. But actually, I think I've said the word in another video, and it was still monetized. But I think it's just her name. I think they're just to her, like, oh god, we got to keep her name out of this. But Alyssa receives final filing from Smash JT and attorney Ron Coleman in Unraveling lawsuit. Disclaimer: the attorney for Smash JT, Ron Coleman, represents the Park Place and its own ownership with various personas, brands, businesses, and legal counsel. Neither Smash JT nor Mr. Coleman have directed nor participated in the creation, editing, or distribution of this article. Your discretion is advised. The ongoing legal battle between Alyssa and Smash JT may be preparing to switch sides, as many now believe the ludicrous nature of Alyssa's claims are. So, what should have happened from the beginning? How did it come to this after all we've been through? Two of a pair, now on opposite sides. No matter what. The fact that it's even gotten to this point is astounding. She doesn't have a leg to stand on here. Because everything she's accusing JT of doing, she in fact has done. Again, if you don't remember, she had like a 54-page document, and she redacted her own address while leaving JT's address there. The address where he lives with his wife and children. And then she's like, oh, I redacted my address for my safety. Well, do you not think that the home where he lives with his wife and children, do you not think that they deserve safety? But she's the exact thing that he never said anything intentionally or, made up something like, oh, well, she used to do this. She basically said she used to suck dick before she became a journalist. She said, though, that, not him. He's just reinforcing what she already stated. But it's like, oh, well, he's slandering me. Bitch, you come out all the fucking time and say how you did sex work and this and that. You're slandering yourself. You're just mad because someone else is bringing it up. Alyssa has just served up the final filing in an effort to dismiss her efforts for a civil lawsuit trial against YouTuber Smash JT in New York court. The former Kotaku editor-in-chief received the filing along with the court. As some believe, this is now an almost absurdly dismissal on the way. Absurdly dismissal on the way. Why wasn't dismissal? But then again, I think he should just count. If he can countersue, for the same reasons that of character and all that, he can do that to her because I said he should go through every option possible, and when he gets a lot of money, just take his family on a nice trip. Go on a freaking boat, or don't tell anyone where you're going. Just take your family and go on a nice trip. But it would also set the example for people that, oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't just make up false claims about someone and try to sue them without having actual evidence. Maybe I shouldn't delete messages that I've said in the past, because that's what she was doing. There was one day people were keeping track of all the messages she was deleting, and it was basically all the stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I used to suck dick and this and that. Oh, I was a sex worker, or I was staying with sex workers, and I stripped and this and all the stuff that people say about her. She's like, oh well, they're making false things about me. It's like, no, you outright said you did these things. So, well, then show me. She thought she was clever by deleting them, but clearly she doesn't know the internet because people went on her once they saw what she was doing. They went on her whatever kind of page she had, wherever it was, whatever pages, whether it be Twitter or whatever, and they started screen capping everything. So that way they had that evidence. So that way when she deleted it, it's like, well, internet's forever, bitch. For example, here's one segment from the filing that stands out in particular. Enough public communal time has been wasted on this dispute over the notional honor of a lady who has built a persona around dishonoring herself. I mean, that is, yeah. And the modern women in those modern women in those names she claims to speak. It should not occupy the good offices of a federal court in New York, and the court should send it back to a no man's land, social media where it belongs. The filing further slaps down even the jurisdiction of the court. Full trial over Alyssa's claims. Nothing in the SAC plausibly alleges, nor can the entirety of its narrative, which insists that Mr. Tarja, Smash JT, sought to maximize his viewership, as opposed to his viewership in New York alone, that any of his alleged conduct was meant to have an effect on New York audience. This court does not have personal jurisdiction over Mr. Tarja. It might also appear that Alyssa has serious skeletons in the closet of a verbal, self-describing nature that that could be nails in the coffin of any defamation claims. Yeah, again, because she was like, "Oh, so how did you get into gaming? I suck dick." And it's like, and she's playing off as a joke. But then when JT was like, "Yeah, she sucked dick," like, oh my god, that's defamation. No, bitch, you said it yourself. Maybe you put some lols or laugh emojis if you were just joking about it. But there were no laugh emojis. There was no lols. There was no lamaus. No lafamau. LMFAO. None of that. It was just I suck dick. So when someone sees that with no context, no idea that you're joking about it, what are you gonna think? Oh, she sucked dick. Okay, well, nice to know she slept her way to the top. It could appear to any sane reader of this ongoing back and forth that this legal effort by Alyssa and her team have only served to embarrass. Yeah, I saw some stuff from her the other day, but she's been. I mean, I don't know if it's just whatever the case is, but I just really haven't seen a lot from her lately. Probably for the best. Um, Served to embarrass herself and dredge of things from the past that could have been an instant no-go for any attorney looking to help her pursue a case against Mr. Tarja. And again, I'm just an online commentator with no degree. What do I know? Except that I now know Alyssa described herself and behaved in such a way throughout prior years that make me less inclined to understand what the heck companies like Otaku were even thinking, having her run their. I think we know. She's exactly what they want. She thinks how they want. She talks the way they want. She's one of them. One of us. One of us. One of us. Totally not a cult. Totally not a cult. I'm sure there are so many right wingers at Kotaku. We got 8-Bit Eric. I made the grave mistake of reading this Alyssa tweet. My brain is now infected with this image. And like a cursed VHS tape, I must pass it on to you. Sorry, it's the law. So Alyssa is on Blue Sky, seeming to be talking about her vagina, because, girls and like to make talk about their vagina. Nothing worse than trying to clean up the landing strip and having to take the whole thing off. I know. Look at me. I like to brand myself a comedian too. I'm talking about my vagina. Oh, women comedians. Um, will not be getting a sympathetic venue of New York for the case, and the plaintiff's team already has some pretty ugly facts ready to. Again, JT has receipts. Every tweet, everything she said about him, or whatever else. The fact that his address, um, again, wasn't redacted from that 54-page document, so he was getting death threats and stuff like that. He's got evidence of that. There's nothing this woman can do that would sway any court and say, oh, yeah, she's the victim here. No, they're not stupid. You know who I am? Yeah, you're a stupid fucking cunt. Um, but I mean, again, I would like to see him like sue her for actual defamation. Because while she was living her life, her little squad were sending death threats, doxing JT at his home, the one that he shares with his wife and children, because this stupid fucking twat right here wanted to put out a 54-page document redacting her own address because fear for my safety, while she didn't redact his because fuck his safety, right? Fuck his safety. Who cares if that's the home that he shares with his wife and children? While you have your little apartment with your fucking dog or whatever. Yeah, your safety is totally more of a concern. But I would fucking sue the shit out of her because she wants to sue for defamation and like, oh my god, I'm lacking any kind of career opportunities because of people and looking at me this way. No, no. So he should sue her for actual defamation. So, but oh, Alyssa, probably best that I haven't seen anything from her from the last few months or whatever it was the last time I did one video for her. It's just, again, she's one of those people who like to think that they're college educated and yet they lack common sense and critical thinking skills and logic and anything that makes survivability in this world possible. You know, self-preservation. Instead, she does the complete opposite. Incriminates herself even more. She's not very smart. She can sit there all nice and tough when she's surrounded by her little fucking simps and her little dick strokers. But when she's by herself, you see what happens. She'll be on TikTok or whatever. She's like, oh, it's just so hard. I'm gonna have my dad and boyfriend come after you. They'd like to have a word with you. That was another thing too, by the way. Miss, I'm a strong, independent woman. Miss, no, because they're pussies. Had a tweet that she sent out saying something like, "My father and boyfriend would like to have a word with you," and then people were like, "Wait, are your father and boyfriend the same person?" The way you worded it is kind of odd. So you're saying both your father and your boyfriend, two separate people, or are you saying your father and boyfriend, saying that your father is also your boyfriend? But yeah, Mrs. Tough Alyssa over there, ooh, wants to act tough with, oh no, because they're pussies. But then she's fucking sending her father and boyfriend, who might be the same person, to talk to people, while also crying on fucking camera like a little bitch. That's she again. She's sitting around her little fucking dick strokers. So every time she acts like that, they're like, "Yay, Alyssa!" Oh. But then when she's by herself, she's like, "Oh, oh God, everyone hates me. Why doesn't? Why don't people like me?" But anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.